Good day, folks, and welcome to review number 72. Today we're going to look at one of the lost members of Team Prime and take a look at the Transformers Prime Beast Hunters Smokescreen. So, starting off looking at the packaging, Smokescreen comes packaged in robot mode inside the standard Transformers Beast Hunters style packaging with the image of the Predaking over here on the left-hand side and the large Beast Hunters logo here at the top. The back side of the packaging features the figure in robot and vehicle mode, as well as a sentence really at the top, and then the Transformers Prime advertisement across the bottom. The tech specs are located here on the right-hand side. So, here we have Smokescreen in his robot mode. Now, the figure itself and the mold, I'm pretty happy with. I think the mold turned out pretty good. I think the mold looks like Smokescreen. The issue I have is a lot of the paint apps. The paint apps either, there's paint that's not there that should be, or there's some colors that are just not right, and as a result he looks almost like Smokescreen to me. It looks like he's just a little bit different, but looking at the figure itself and the articulation here, the head, while it's on, I think it actually is a ball joint in there. It's very limited articulation, so that you do have some limits there with the head. You have a ball-jointed shoulder, you got a bicep swivel there, you have a ratcheted elbow, which, I don't know, that the ratchet there kind of bugs me a little bit. No wrist articulation. He does have a waist swivel, though. Ball-jointed hip, but no thigh swivel, knee joint, and you've got and then the feet here, which you don't have really any ankle tilt to go with them, unfortunately. So articulation wise, he's not bad, but he is missing a little bit of articulation there that I think they could have found a way to incorporate. So getting back to the issue with the paint apps I have, probably the biggest thing is his head and face. The paint apps here just seem completely wrong. The parts on the sides of his face, if you look at the actual model, those are kind of a silver or gray. The center part of his helmet here is a white or gray, and then the parts coming back here that are unpainted are supposed to be red. So the paint job on the head and face to me is just completely wrong. The other thing that kind of bugs me are these bright yellow headlights. I kind of hate when they do this, because the model has some nice accurate headlights with the clear pieces there, and then the orange side marker, and this is just painted yellow, and it just stands out as something that doesn't look right. So there's a good possibility I may come back in, strip the paint off the face and just completely redo that, and maybe redo the headlights as well. See if I can make him look a little more accurate. The other thing is the shoulder pieces. There's supposed to be a little bit of color on these shoulder pieces as well, and they just completely ignored that. Which Hasbro's done that enough in the past. Cut back on paint apps to save a little money. So I don't mind the shoulders as much. It's just when they do apply paint and it just looks completely wrong, that bugs me. Another issue I do have with this figure is kind of a result of this, what some people refer to as a cheating chest piece here. It's just a molded piece rather than having all these parts from the vehicle actually transform into it. They just use a molded piece, and I've seen that before in the past, and when it's done right, it can work well. So I'm not one of those people that, oh, it's cheating, that's not a true transformer. If it's done right, I think it works well. But in this case, because they made it so flat, the figure has no width to him at all, and ends up the whole figure is very thin this way. Most of the beef of the figure comes from the fact that you've got the door wings sticking off the back. So I guess to me he just feels flat because of that, and I think if they had found a way to maybe beef that up just a little bit, or beef up his body a little bit, it would have came off a little better. Now, one of the things they really did get right with Smokescreen are his accessories. If you're familiar at all with the Beast Hunters line, especially with the existing characters, they kind of gave them this, spiky, almost tribal looking look to them, and they were a lot of the other figures are remolds of their existing figures. Now, Smokescreen has not had a figure before, so if they wanted to give him that Beast Hunters look, they could have just molded it right into the figure like they've done with some of the others. But here they made the spiky bits an optional part, and I think that was a very smart move for people like me that don't care a lot for the Beast Hunters aesthetic on the other figures. This gives us a chance to actually get a Smokescreen figure without the Beast Hunter crap on him. But if you do want to use it, it's just kind of a rubbery plastic bit, and there's these little holes right here, and they clip onto these little nubs on his sides right there, and give you an idea of kind of what he'll look like with it. But like I said, I don't care for this. I'll find some place to put that. His other accessory is his weapon, which is a missile launcher, net launcher, which this part of the Beast Hunters thing, I don't mind. The weapons, handheld weapons. It's kind of a neat little weapon here. But I'm definitely glad they didn't force the Beast Hunters aesthetic on him and made that optional. Now for a look at Smokescreen's transformation process. I really did enjoy transforming Smokescreen. There seemed to be just a little bit more complexity to him that may have been missing from some of the other Beast Hunters Deluxe figures. The transformation itself seems familiar, but I can't quite put my finger on it. I think it may just be the fact that many of these transformation steps have been used before in other figures, but they may not have been put together in exactly the same way. At any rate, I particularly like how the arms pivot around to become the hood. The shoulder movement, while a little confusing at first, is really a clever bit of engineering. But the biggest downside to Smokescreen's transformation I've seen is the way the parts tab together. Now, many of the body panels interlock. Now, that's great for creating a solid vehicle mode. However, it can really take some fiddling to get everything to finally lock in place. Many times you'll pop one panel into place and another panel will pop out. And it can get a little frustrating. But overall, I really enjoyed transforming this figure. So, here we have Smokescreen in his vehicle mode. And again, I think the vehicle mode looks really good. The mold matches the on-screen model pretty good. Again, it's paint apps really that I have take issue with here. Smokescreen's pretty flashy, and the paint on here is all fairly flat. I think they could have had put a little silver on the wheels. Use a little glossier paint. I think it would have looked a little bit sharper. But really, as far as the mold goes, I have no complaints here. You do notice the headlights here, they did use a clear yellow plastic, so you've got the actual headlight look there. Now, as a side note, I know the Transformers Go, the Takara version of Beast Hunters, they do have a smokescreen in that lineup. I don't know as we've seen any photos yet, so it will be interesting to see what kind of a paint job that Takara does on the figure. That may be a route to go if you're looking for a more accurate paint job, maybe a flashier paint job. Takara is known for putting metallic paints on things, so we'll have to see how that looks and see what kind of an option that would be. But overall, though, for the vehicle in this figure, I'm pretty pleased. As far as accessories go for the vehicle mode, you've got the gun that can plug into multiple points here. You've got the point on top where it can plug into. You've got a couple places on the spoiler where it can plug into. So you can use this or any other 5mm peg weapon. You can also take the hideous front armor part here, and it just kind of lays on here. Again, not something I particularly care for, so yeah, that's going away. But yeah, that's as far as the accessories and weapons go. The Transformers Prime Beast Hunters Deluxe Smokescreen is a pretty good little figure. Now, aside from some incorrect and missing paint apps, the mold is a great representation of the character. However, if you want a correctly painted figure, I would suggest waiting for the Takara Tomy release. The Japanese seem to have corrected many of the paint faux pas on this figure. Still, I'm glad I picked this guy up, and now I'm one step closer to completing my Team Prime shelf.